It was a cold and misty night in Boston, March 18, 1990. The cobblestone streets outside the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum were eerily quiet. Inside, masterpieces from Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas adorned the walls, safeguarded behind locked doors, motion sensors, and 2 tired night guards stationed at the front desk. But as the clock ticked past midnight, what no one could have guessed was that these walls were about to witness the world's greatest art heist. A theft of staggering audacity, 13 pieces taken in a single night, valued at over $500 million. Decades later, the mystery remains unsolved. This is the story of the Isabella Stewart Gardner heist, a theft that defied logic, broke records, and ended in silence. At precisely 1:24 a.m., the buzzer at the museum's front entrance rang sharply, cutting through the silence. On the surveillance monitor, 2 men stood outside, dressed as Boston police officers.
Received a report of a disturbance. Please let us in.
The young guard on duty hesitated. No alarms had gone off, nothing seemed out of place. But St. Patrick's Day celebrations had ended hours earlier, and perhaps something was amiss. Against protocol, he buzzed the officers inside. They stepped through the doors, uniforms tidy, badges glinting under the fluorescent lights. What happened next would change the art world forever.
Step away from the desk.
Before he could react, the other officer cuffed his hands behind his back.
Gentlemen, this is a robbery.
Within minutes, both guards were subdued, duct-taped, blindfolded, and dragged into the museum's basement. They would remain trapped there until discovered the next morning. Meanwhile, the imposters had full unrestricted control. The museum was theirs for the taking. For the next 81 minutes, the thieves orchestrated a methodical and jaw-dropping heist. Room by room, they scoured the building, not with the care of expert art conservators, but with aggression. Frames were pulled down from the walls, canvases were sliced free with blades, and priceless works were handled like common loot. Among the stolen treasures were some of the most extraordinary pieces of art ever created. Vermeer's The Concert, a luminous, enigmatic painting, and one of only 34 Vermeers known to exist. Rembrandt's The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, his only seascape, portraying a dramatic moment of peril amidst crashing waves. Another Rembrandt, A Lady and Gentleman in Black, as well as a rare self-portrait etching, Manet's delicate Chez Tortoni, an intimate cafe scene. 5 charcoal sketches by Edgar Degas, and a unique Chinese gu, an ancient ceremonial beaker of bronze, mystifyingly included in the hall. Altogether, 13 pieces vanished into the night, their combined worth estimated at over $500 million. But what truly puzzled investigators wasn't just the theft itself, it was the things they didn't take. Titian's Rape of Europa, one of the museum's most celebrated and valuable works, hung untouched in an adjacent gallery. This raised an intriguing question. Were these ordinary thieves as careless as they seemed, or were they following a precise shopping list issued by someone behind the operation? By 2:45 a.m., the heist was over. Security alarms, motion sensors, and cameras had remained mysteriously silent throughout the ordeal. The thieves slipped out the back door, disappearing into the night, carrying the most audacious haul in art history. Morning revealed the grim aftermath. When staff arrived at 8:15 a.m., they walked into a museum that felt almost haunted. Empty frames leaned awkwardly against the walls, gaping holes where vision and beauty once radiated. Immediately, law enforcement swarmed the scene. The evidence was sparse. No alarms had sounded, no fingerprints were recovered, no surveillance footage was stolen. The only lead? The testimony of the guards, 2 men dressed as cops with Boston accents. As the FBI took over the case, they were convinced the crime had ties to organized criminal networks. Investigators pursued countless leads, diving deep into Boston's underworld, tracking whispers from the European black market, and following theories that ranged from mafia involvement to botched amateurism. Years passed with tantalizing but ultimately hollow breakthroughs. Among the theories, the robbery was orchestrated by a mafia boss to trade the paintings for reduced prison sentences. The artworks were hidden, deliberately left untouched for decades to cool off before being sold. Or, in the darkest theory of all, the paintings were destroyed, the thieves panicking over how difficult it would be to move works of such fame. Despite years of undercover sting operations, museum pleas, and even a staggering $10 million reward, not a single piece has been recovered. It's as if they vanished into thin air. Today, inside the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, the empty frames still hang on the walls. A visual wound, they remain there by choice, a symbol of hope that one day the stolen treasures might return. The pain of their absence is more than financial. Each missing painting carries a voice, a story, a slice of human creativity, and their loss is a theft not just from the museum but from all of us, art lovers, historians, and dreamers alike. The FBI to this day insists someone knows where those masterpieces are, perhaps a vault deep underground, perhaps hidden in some unassuming attic, or maybe somewhere Vermeer's The Concert sits on display in secret as only shadowed faces admire it. Where did they go? Who took them? And will they ever be found? The Isabella Stewart Gardner heist isn't just a crime story, it's a legend, a reminder of human audacity, mystery, and our eternal quest to uncover the truth.